Hey, it's Bill coming at you from Santa Monica, California. I'm gonna laugh at that from now on. I got through it again. I had a fantastic day. Started first thing this morning, and it's just continued to go right on through. Um, on the stretch of road that I'm on, there's and it actually happens quite a lot, at least in this area, Venice Beach. Uh, Not so much Santa Monica, but it does happen here. But all up and down, not so much Malibu, but all up and down that I've biked anyway. Uh, People camp, in their RVs and uh, sometimes just in their tents on the sidewalks. Again, not so much here in Santa Monica, but Venice Beach is pretty popular for that. But anyway, I'm rambling again. I'm sorry. I'll try and keep on track. But anyways, there are a couple of people right around here that live in their vehicles. I'm the only one that stays out here. Uh, there's I'm not cruel to anyone or anything like that, but they usually move themselves on because the neighbors are good with me because I'm good about being here and I'm good with them. They'll do something stupid and they have the right to call the police, and the police will run them off. So the worst I do is have to go and hide someplace else for 2 or 3 days while they screw up, and then I can come back. Anyway, I keep rambling. I'm sorry. So I thought I've met the man a few times. I think he's from Russia, but anyway, I hadn't seen him, and his van hadn't moved in like 6 or 8 days, maybe even more. And there was a really nice backpack leaning against his tire. So I kind of kept an eye on it. I didn't. Nobody had bothered with it. In fact, nobody had bothered with it so much that I kind of thought that it may have been latched down or something to his tire or frame. Literally, that's what I was thinking. Anyway, I'd seen him for the first time today, and I said, I was trying to keep an eye on your bag for you. I said, usually you don't leave out stuff like that. So I said, it just surprised me. He said, well, it's not mine. I said, it's not yours. He said, no. So I said, well, if it's not yours, I said, I'm going to keep it. I said, it's a lot better than mine, which it is. So I looked it up. It's like a $400 bag. And I told you, this is what started my day off. Excuse me. And so then, where I usually go up to brush my teeth and do all the things I got to do if I don't go to the storage, which I haven't gone there in the last few days because I just don't want. It's to my lawyer's advice that he says I can go in there by Monday. I'll be fine. So I don't know what the reason was, but he just wanted it to be. He said Monday morning is fine. So, but anyway, I bounced between the park and there to brush my teeth and get my fresh water and stuff like that. And so on the way up there's a couple alleys. That's what I was getting to. I always go, whenever I know which direction I'm going in, so I have a pattern that I like to go in that gets me the most viewing for the least effort, I guess I can put it that way. And so when I'm going to the park is to my right, so it's not forever, but it's like maybe 3/4 of a mile. And now that I have a bike, it's a little quicker. And with the bike, I can shoot down some of the alleys that I either walk by and just view down. Sometimes, I'm not going to ride the whole alley, but I can shoot down and back up, go down 150 yards and back and see what's there, which is what I was doing this morning. Thank God, because I picked the habit up pretty quick. And with my brain injury, when I mean, I'm great when I have my habits. If I go daily with the habit, I can do everything. I can get everything done. But if I break a habit for, I'd say, I've never really timed it, but I'm gonna say like 7 days, maybe 10. After that, it starts losing rapidly. I mean, really fast. Like the other day, one of my caseworkers took me to my ears, nose, and throat doctor, just to make sure I get there, because it's not always me, but I missed appointments. And it's like the ears, nose, and throat. That one takes, like, maybe, in the worst case scenario, he takes like six months, worst case, to get an appointment with him. My neurosurgeon ones that I miss, and I have missed, the longest one that I've missed is 10 months. 10 months. I'm laughing at it, but it's not funny. So that's why everything that I think of, I either call it, text it, or I have an app on my phone that I have to talk to. If it's important like that. And for me, texting is my best, because by the time I get to any one of the 3 safe ones for me, I can literally forget what I'm thinking about. It can be that quick. So the quickest one is texting for me, because it seems to be the fastest, and I think it's because I know what to do, so I don't have to think about anything else. I can do it. But there's no real way for me to test that. But I think that's the reason, because I can still remember what I'm thinking. As long as I can remember the meat of it, and I don't even mean that much. I mean, if I can get I guess, yeah, the meat of it. If I can get 3/4 of a sentence of what it's about in my mind and start it down, then I can finish it. It'll remind me enough that I can remember where I was at. So, I mean, that's how bad it is. And, so that's why I try and review these things, so that my stories, it could be very frustrating from your end, but I promise it's the kind of stuff I'll just be rambling on and on, so you'll be easier to just remember them. I mean, I do try and catch you all back up on things I started that you might want to hear about. But if it's about the card itself, I do try and keep track of all of that, so that I stay more or less, something that I don't want to be bouncing from one end of the project to the other. I'm trying to stay, as we progress, on the same thing. So I think I only have 8 or 9 days here that I gotta scramble through to get to the first. I mean, I know I get my payment on the 3rd, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm just gonna put the money in to that other account. Well, it's already there. I'm just not gonna. Mentally, it's not there until. Mentally, it's the 3rd, but I'm gonna start the account thing on the 1st. So everything and anything that I can't back out because it's too late, I'll replace with the most accurate number I can come up with. But it's not like we're not talking hundreds and thousands of dollars here. It's still, I mean, if I flushed everything out to 0, it'd still be no more than $200, so it probably wouldn't even be that. So I'm gonna try and make it so it's as accurate can be, but and I think that's the easiest thing, is like I said, we'll just start fresh on the 1st. But you know, the stuff that we talked about is, I could just keep collecting the things we discussed. Oh, I did catch that one part. I watched, like I said, I watch them every time I post one up to YouTube. I'd said that we're going to try and keep the commercial end of it, basically the kitchen of the cart, as much 12 volt as we can, which is true. I want to continue that idea. And so I'm working a bunch of different things through my mind, but the reason that I brought that up is anything that you see that is 12 volt, any light, any fan, and I say 12 volt, just let's go low voltage, and low voltage is 32, I think they consider 32 volts and under, but it should say right on it, it'll have a symbol on it that says low voltage. I can't remember what it looks like, but it has a symbol. You could actually probably just look it right up on your computer or on your phone. But anything that's low voltage, we can work with. And the reason we're going to try and do that is because where we lost the space, well, we gained the space, lost the weight of the fuel tank, I'm thinking that we can at least fit 3 batteries in that area, and certainly 4. Whether it's in that same area or not, I think that weight-wise, that it's going to wash out almost equal to what the fuel tank would have. So the only added weight we're going to be carrying is the propane. But now we have all the electrical and propane in the kitchen. So I think that's a pretty good trade. So that's what I was saying. So any low voltage wire, 12 voltage wire, and any wiring harnesses that you find, switches, anything like that, those are all, especially switches, fuse panels, anything like that. That's all high money items that are small and easy to get off of whatever they're attached to. So, I mean, literally, if you go to a junkyard and you can get a fuse panel out of the car, that fuse panel is going to be useful. But if you do get that, keep in mind that when you cut that, the easiest way, when I say cut the wires to that, the easiest way to splice all that in is to, if you're going to cut it, get at least 12 or 16 inches in from the main. It's usually a well, you can't tell with my fingers, but it's usually a square socket, and it's like maybe 3x3 to 5x5 in size, not necessarily square, but every company, you know how they are. They're all different and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, there's usually one on each side, and in the firewall is actually the socket for both sides, I think. But it could be something different than that. But that's the one I remember having. Wiring harness that plugged in at the firewall, and a wiring harness on the inside the car on the firewall plugging into it, and then the fuse panel was all under that, where you could put in the you know, the blue and red and yellow slip in ones. And so if you can get those, and I know you can, you just go to the junkyard, yank one out, and the guy's gonna say, give me $5. And trust me, to have that's gonna save you all sorts of nightmares. And you can, if you want to, you can start figuring out where each wire comes out and get that all pre-done, because you have to know. You just start at one, and they sell those at, I was almost gonna say, that's how old I am, and that's how out of the loop I am. I was going to say Radio Shack. Oh, God. But they do sell the same thing at Home Depot or Lowe's, and it just numbers 1 through. You can make up you know, as many numbers as you want. That's how they do it in the high-rises. You know, if we can number 100 stories with a different number, you can bet you can find enough numbers to do that stupid firewall outlet. So it's pretty simple. You'll get the idea. And if I can figure it out, anybody can figure it out. So anyway, you could do that, and that is something that would be invaluable to you, and it's certainly worth the effort. And what little we can't do that way, I'm huge against the idea of running a generator for a bunch of different reasons. The biggest is the noise, and I know we could muffle it and all of that, but I'd rather not. So I'm gonna do the best I can to come up with ways to, when it's sitting, not be running.
Evening, Bill.
How you doing?
Well, how are you?
I'm good. It's a beautiful day.
Beautiful. A little bit chilly right now.
I know.
A little bit. July.
I know.
I thought we were supposed to get a heat wave.
I was talking to my sister today, and I told her, I said, our summer is just starting.
Wait, you said you were from New Hampshire, right?
Yeah.